6DO Glasgow, WCLU.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dell Small Business.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Republicans and Democrats bring out their top stars ahead of tomorrow's midterms. The GOP in hopes of changing up the balance of power in Congress, Democrats of retaining it. Former President Trump getting out the vote at a rally in Miami.
We are just 2 days away from the most important midterm election in American history, and we need a landslide so big that the radical left cannot rig it or steal it.
President Biden with Governor Kathy Hochul in New York.
Republicans gain control of Congress and pass a nationwide ban on abortion. I will veto it.
I'm Jim Krasul in Savannah, Georgia. Democratic U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock is intensifying his critique of Republican Senate candidate Herschel Walker ahead of Election Day, saying the celebrity athlete is unfit for Capitol Hill. Walker's closing argument to voters is that Warnock is a rubber stamp for President Joe Biden and Democrats.
Stark warnings at the COP27 Global Climate Conference that got underway today in Egypt. Correspondent Vicki Barker is at the foreign desk.
In a blistering opening speech, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres name-checked the U.S. and China as the world's biggest polluters with the world's greatest responsibility to join a global pact on limiting global warming.
This is our only hope of meeting our climate goals.
But neither leader was in the hall to hear that message. President Biden won't join the conference till after the midterm elections, and Chinese leader Xi Jinping is staying away entirely. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Twitter's in a tizzy over parody accounts, one by a Hollywood prankster pretending to be the new owner himself. Here's CBS's Matt Piper.
The banning has begun, with several accounts that changed their name to Elon Musk getting suspended, including actor and comedian Kathy Griffin. It comes after Musk said the social media platform's mission is to become the most accurate source of information about the world, with an $8 monthly charge for blue verification status coming soon.
Musk began his tenure as Twitter-in-chief by laying off about half of Twitter's staff. What exactly are customers paying for it? Airbnbs. Starting next month, the company says it will allow guests to filter their search results by the total cost of stays, including cleaning fees and taxes, so they know the real price of an overnight. New study in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine might convince you to ditch frozen or canned meals for good. Here's CBS's Bradley Blackburn.
Researchers determined those prepackaged foods contributed to about 57,000 premature deaths in Brazil in 2019 and suggest the impact could be even higher in high-income countries like the U.S.
S&P futures are up 20. Dow futures ahead 176. This is CBS News.
Dell Technologies' early Black Friday starts now with 48% off business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Call 877-ASK-DELL.
Why wait to save? Dell Technologies' Black Friday event arrives early with select deals on top tech to power business productivity. The savings start now with up to 48% off performance business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, including free shipping on everything. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL for Black Friday deals. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Hi there, I'm your host, Dog, filling in for the human who's normally here and bringing you the smells and sounds of the holidays, courtesy of Beggin' Dog Treats.
We wish you a beggin' Christmas. We wish you a beggin' Christmas. Talk Westy, merry Doberman, let beggin' you acquire. Deck the halls with strips of beggin', arf, 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 arf.
Remember, for bacon-loving dog excitement this holiday, it's Beggin'!
Scientists in the UK say they've harvested stem cells to make blood in a lab and administered it to patients. The BBC's James Gallagher.
The goal here is to manufacture ultra-rare blood groups that are hard to get hold of. These are vital for people who need regular transfusions as their bodies learn to reject donated blood unless it's precisely matched to their own. Only small quantities, equivalent to a couple of spoonfuls, are currently being tested to see how long they last in the body. However, lab-grown blood costs vastly more than donated blood, and there are still challenges in growing the large volumes that would be needed clinically.
Happiest man in Texas right now? That'd be Mattress Mac. 71-year-old Jim McInvale, owner of the Gallery Furniture chain in Texas, threw out the ceremonial first pitch Saturday. He went on to win $75 million in a sports bet. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible Black Friday sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building at Black Friday savings. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74.
Looking to buy a home? Look to the mortgage professionals at U.S. Bank. Amy Stafford, mortgage lender for the Barron County market, knows buying a home can be a scary process. She has the experience to help you decide how much home you can afford, whether a conventional fixed or adjustable rate loan or FHA or VA may fit your situation. Call Amy at 659-3200. She'll take the time necessary to answer all of your questions. You'll feel good about choosing U.S. Bank to partner with in purchasing your first or your next home. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC.
This election, vote no on Amendment 2. Amendment 2 is a government mandate that would take away our individual rights. Amendment 2 is an extreme measure that bans all abortions, no exceptions. Not for the life of the mother or in the case of rape or incest. The decision to have an abortion should be made between a woman, her doctor, family, and faith. There's no telling how far politicians will go. We have to vote no on Amendment 2. Abortions in Kentucky have always been highly regulated. Abortion later in pregnancy is banned in Kentucky, and all women seeking an abortion must go through mandatory counseling. Amendment 2 puts women and families in danger. Miscarriages become fatal. Pregnancy complications.
Big birthday for Gary Butcher Taylor. We got Shirley Ross having a birthday today. It is Ed Bartley, Chloe Clark, Don Hart, Anita Scott, Bill Dearman with a birthday today. We have Roger Minyard celebrating a birthday today, too. Anniversaries, it is Rick and Beverly Harbison. It is the anniversary of Larry and Donna Williams. It is the 30th anniversary of Tim and Michelle Richardson. How about that? 651-9149, 800-956-1023, and online here for you at WCLUradio.com. That's how we communicate birthdays and anniversaries here each and every morning as we look forward to celebrating with special folks on their special days here from WCLU. Now let's go ahead and look at another special day, a beautiful day. Boy, what a beautiful weekend it was. Unusually nice for the first week of November, but we'll take it. And here we are at 63 degrees this morning. Mostly sunny today and a high of 73. Mostly clear tonight and a low of 49. We have a sunny day on Tuesday, a high of 72. Tuesday night clear and 48. Wednesday a sunny day and a high temperature up to 75 degrees. Constant coverage in studio radar screen, nice and quiet this morning. Over the weekend, this was all on Saturday, and we had a really heavy forecast for an ugly day. It was all in the way of wind as far as moisture goes on Saturday. We only got 4 100ths of an inch, 0.04. The heaviest rainfall in the neighborhood on Saturday was over at Tompkinsville. They got 4/10 of an inch on Saturday morning there in T-ville. Barometers at 30.27, 96% humidity, north winds at about 6 miles an hour, 63 from WCLU Studios this morning as we are up and running and looking forward to making the most of this beautiful, beautiful Monday. We've got the Live and Local 6 o'clock morning edition as we continue on Good Morning Live.
Injuries and illnesses that require immediate attention can happen anytime, any day of the week. That's why TJ Urgent Care is open daily, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their team of doctors and nurse practitioners are highly trained in caring for your family's urgent health care needs. With on-site lab, radiology, and pharmacy, TJ Urgent Care provides the ultimate convenience. No appointment is needed, and TJ Urgent Care is open 7 days a week. TJ Urgent Care, located at the TJ Health Pavilion in Glasgow. TJ Urgent Care. Total local care.
As a former high school dropout, I'm not a typical MBA graduate. As an adult, going back to school, there were a lot of things to factor in. I was taking care of my family, working 60 hours a week, so finding time to squeeze in an education was a challenge.
Indiana Tech has quality, affordable degree programs to advance your career and the personalized support that helps you succeed. We have in-demand programs in areas like business, healthcare, information technology, cybersecurity, engineering, criminal justice, and many more.
The flexibility of online classes made it possible for me to take classes and work, and the faculty and staff were amazing too. I'm still in a bit of shock that I managed to get my MBA. If you had told the 16-year-old me that this would be possible, I never would have believed it.
Take the next step towards your bright future. Learn more today how Indiana Tech helps busy working adults advance their careers at online.indianatech.edu.
Registration for the next class session ends November 11th.
You've depended on WCLU News for more than 30 years for your live election returns coverage. This year we return to the airwaves and online at WCLUradio.com Tuesday, November 8th. It's general election coverage beginning at 6 p.m. Catch us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, on the air at 103.1 FM and 1490 AM, and you'll catch us on Glasgow Electric Plant 4 Channel 6. It's live election returns coverage, commentary, candidate interviews, and more, only on WCLU Radio. Well, good morning, South Central Kentucky. It's Monday, November 7th, 63 degrees now at 6:12. Good morning, and hope you're doing well today. The sun is up this morning as we fell back this weekend, and lots of folks are trying to get used to that, of course. Here, it's the first weekday, the first work day back with the new time change, and of course, we're all going to get used to that, but it will be darker in the evening, as we saw yesterday even, pretty dark by 5 o'clock. In news this hour, a woman has been arrested in connection to the death of her father in Barron County. 75-year-old Michael Loxton was discovered dead on July 9th inside his Glasgow residence. An arrest citation alleges a device he had used to breathe was linked to certain suspicious activity. 45-year-old Cheryl Leanne Bennett of McMinnville, Tennessee, was arrested along Tanglewood Drive last week in connection to this incident. Bennett, she was charged with murder and remains lodged at the Barron County Detention Center. She is Loxton's daughter, according to an obituary. Now, records obtained from a subpoena revealed a BiPAP machine had been powered off numerous times, police say, before it was powered down for a final time. That machine, it was last turned off for 4 hours. Cheryl Loxton, who's the victim's wife, told police she and her daughter Leanne were the only two individuals present when the breathing machine was turned off. An autopsy conducted at the state medical examiner's office concluded that Loxton's death was a homicide. His causes of death were determined to be asphyxia and suffocation due to the powering down of that BiPAP machine. Glasgow police say additional charges are expected in this investigation. That case remains open, and we did not have any further information from police. Well, over the course of the weekend, there was, of course, the historical walking tour that was supposed to take place at the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. That was slated for Saturday at 10 o'clock to be led by historian Sam Terry. That was canceled and postponed to next Saturday. So again, we'll remind you a little closer to date, but just so you know, that historical walking tour of the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery, it was not held this past weekend. So if you would like to get out and get to that event, you can do that and make plans for it. Saturday, November 12th at 10 a.m. That will be the time to do so. And likewise, Sip, Shop, and Stroll that was slated to be on the Glasgow Square on Saturday, it was also canceled, and we understand from the Glasgow Business Association that they are going to be rescheduling that event likely for the spring. So that is a bit of a bummer for some folks, but again, they are going to be rescheduling that for the spring. If you are a vendor, you should have gotten an email from the Downtown Business Association, and they said that they could either refund money there, or of course they could give you the first pick at spots for their next event. Just stay tuned to the Downtown Business Association for that information. Well, you've probably heard it enough, and you're going to keep hearing it for the next day or so, but tomorrow is Election Day across the United States. It's the general election here, and of course, locally, lots of folks were voting early here in Barron County, and we understand that appears to be the trend across the state of Kentucky. Kentuckians casting their ballots at the polls Tuesday, they'll now have to show a photo ID in order to vote, and of course, that's the way it was with early voting as well. Kentucky's one of around a dozen states that have imposed stricter voter ID requirements since 2020. More from Nadia Ramlagan.
League of Women Voters of Kentucky board member Susan Weston explains that valid forms of photo identification include a driver's license, passport, U.S. Defense Department, college, or local government ID. She says people who have recently moved to the state or who don't drive are most likely to face barriers.
If you flat out can't get any of those IDs, there's one more option, which is an affirmation when you go to vote.
Weston says individuals can fill out a form at the polls explaining why they can't get a photo ID and then show another form of ID, such as a Social Security card or SNAP benefits card. Kentucky's State Board of Elections recently created a YouTube video breaking down the new photo ID rules. Voting hours are 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. statewide on Election Day. Weston adds that if you are in line at 6 p.m., you will be allowed to vote. Nadia Ramlagan reporting.
All right, thank you, Nadia. Again, an important concept there to get out and vote, exercise that right. That, of course, is certainly a privilege here across the United States. Remember, our election coverage here at WCLU will be back. It'll begin at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, and we'll be having lots of things with that, some candidate interviews. Of course, we'll be showing a little bit of some clips from the forums that we hosted a few weeks ago, and we'll be talking about current trends with this election, where it's going, and, of course, the big item there is the election returns coverage to find out who has won the election. It's Monday, November 7th, 63 degrees now, 6:17 is your time. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about the new online home for the Glasgow EPB? Well, it isn't just a new-looking website. It's a whole new way to manage your Glasgow EPB services. At the all-new GlasgowEPB.com, you can take care of paying your bill online like always, but you can also request or transfer your Glasgow EPB services, access customer support guides, easily sign up for GEPB alerts, and learn about all available products and programs. So check it out today, GlasgowEPB.com.
At Metro by T-Mobile, you can save more. Choose from the largest selection of free 5G phones from brands you love, like Samsung, with one line of unlimited 5G for $40, period. Taxes and fees included. That's the lowest price in prepaid. Switch now and get both to save more, only at Metro. If congested, the fraction of users greater than 35 gigabytes per month may notice reduced speeds, and Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus T-Mobile due to prioritization. Video streams in SD requires eligible port-in. See store for details.
Welcome back into WCLU Local News. A very warm 63 degrees out there this morning. And we say warm because it appears this time of the year you would expect it to be a little bit cooler out there. But nonetheless, that's where we are today, 74 degrees by this evening, only 47 as we get down. But look, toward next week, it looks like we are going to be really only topping out in the low to mid 40s. So cherish these 70-degree temperatures right now because we are heading toward a cool down by next week. Looks like by Tuesday we'll have sunny skies with a high near 71 degrees. The warmest day this week, it appears to be Wednesday, about midweek, with 76 degrees in the forecast at this point. And as we trek on through toward next weekend, looks like we're going to see those temperatures drop considerably. In fact, at this point, we're already seeing those highs in the mid to low 40s for your high on Saturday and Sunday. In more news this hour, direct temporary housing assistance has been approved for an additional Kentucky county to help people affected by flooding in July. The Federal Emergency Management Agency added Pike County, making 6 counties approved. That's including Breathitt, Floyd, Knott, Letcher, and Perry. The program provides 2 options for housing, including multifamily lease and repair, and temporary housing units such as a travel trailer or manufactured home. FEMA says direct temporary housing takes time to put in place and isn't an immediate solution. Not everyone affected by the flooding is eligible. People who have applied with FEMA for assistance do not need to reapply. And 4 missing World War II military medals found in a Tennessee safe deposit box have been returned to the soldiers' family. The Tennessee Department of Treasury Division of Unclaimed Property says it located Joseph R. Foster's family with the help of a social media campaign launched about a year ago. Foster, who died in 2010, served in the U.S. Army in Germany during the war and was awarded the medals. They were discovered in an abandoned safe deposit box in a Nashville area bank after his death and turned over to unclaimed property. Foster's children, Melissa Foster Washington and David Foster, they were given the medals during a ceremony at the state capitol. 6:21's your time, 63 degrees. Again, Election Day coming up. Access lots of resources at our website, things you should know, and of course candidate interviews and things like that. You can find all of that available at WCLUradio.com, and be sure to make plans to tune into our coverage tomorrow evening. We'll have lots of exciting things there for you, and go ahead and get ahead of the game and download the WCLU Radio app. That way you can be the first to know when news breaks, and of course those updated to news updates during the election coverage. Have a great Monday.
News, weather, sports, and more. Weekdays on Good Morning Live and Local on WCLU at WCLUradio.com and Facebook.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
With Election Day tomorrow, the U.S. Senate race in Kentucky is in the spotlight. Democratic challenger Charles Booker against incumbent Republican Senator Rand Paul. WKYT's Kentucky Newsmakers has interviewed both candidates. Booker was asked about Paul's contention the federal government spending has resulted in the current inflationary trend.
Shell Oil just announced $9.5 billion in profits in the last quarter, almost doubling what they received in the last year. And the reality is, while prices have risen, and this is crushing a lot of folks across Kentucky, we're seeing corporations with record-breaking profits. So what we're dealing with is really corporate greed and price gouging, and we need leaders that are going to fight for regular people.
Senator Paul was asked about his being against the Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act.
It's not as simple as are you for or against. I didn't vote for the bill simply because it wasn't paid for, but I'm still for the aid to Eastern Kentucky. I'm for the aid to Western Kentucky, but I think it should be paid for by not spending money overseas. We spend $40 billion a year in foreign aid. I wouldn't do that. I'd spend that money here at home. I'd help to pay for the things that we need at home.
Schools in Fayette County are closed today due to widespread illness. They are one of a number of districts across the Commonwealth to cancel classes recently for the same reason. Fayette County school officials say the number of absences has been climbing over the past week, and doctors say they are seeing an increase in illnesses like flu, COVID-19, and respiratory virus known as RSV. Students will have today off as well as tomorrow, which was already going to be a day off because of Election Day. I'm Sean McCormick.
This is the Kentucky News Network. Election Day is November 8th, so make a plan now to exercise your right to vote. Every election is the opportunity to choose who will represent you in our democracy. Visit our online voter information center at aclu-ky.org to find your polling location, view a sample ballot, understand ID requirements, and learn about early voting options. Your vote is your voice, and every voice matters. Prepare now at aclu-ky.org and head to the polls on November 8th. This ad was paid for by the American Civil Liberties Union of Kentucky.
I'm an emergency medical technician. Today I arrived at the scene of a crash. I've seen enough of these to know it's a bad one. Young female driver, unconscious. I see her phone on the floor. The screen says OMW. On my way. She never hit send. Be safe, Kentucky. Buckle up and put the phone down.
Most people will hesitate before planning a funeral in advance.
The funeral? We'll arrange that when the time comes.
But there's a lot to be said for advance planning. For one thing, you have the peace of mind of knowing that your arrangements have all been made. You can consider the options when your mind is clear, and you'll have the relief of knowing that your loved one will be well cared for. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
In my family, I'm the planner. From the weekly grocery list to the family vacation, everything, all the details. Though planning for the end was something I left off my list. Then a friend told me about South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow. She said even though it wasn't on her to-do list, seeing them was one of the best planning decisions she'd ever made. South Central Kentucky Monuments showed her the different options they have available, even an image of the finished monument. And since South Central Kentucky Monuments does all the stone carving in-house, it cost much less than she expected. They made the process easy to create the exact memorial she wanted. So my husband and I made a plan to see them. We are so happy with our decision. We encouraged our family and friends to do the same. It'll be the best planning decision you ever make.
Buy direct and save money at South Central Kentucky Monuments at the corner of East Front Street and Columbia Avenue. Family owned in Glasgow since 2010.
Protect your family with Woodman Life Life Insurance. Customized to meet your needs, Woodman Life Life Insurance can help keep your family and their future safe and secure.
Call your local Woodman representative today. Jeff Sneed, 270-646-0354. Jeff will be glad to hear from you.
Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society of Omaha, Nebraska. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
You're listening to Good Morning Live on WCLU. It is 63 degrees as we get our start today. Forecast says we're going to climb all the way up to a very pleasant 73 degrees for the day. In area funeral announcements this hour, Jacqueline F. Womack, age 68, of Glasgow, died Saturday. A native of Jefferson County, she was a daughter of the late Arthur Floyd Wells and Verlene Caroline Glass. She worked in retail sales at Walmart and other businesses and was a member of the Dripping Springs Baptist Church. Survivors include two children, Tommy Greer of Upton and Tracy Wyatt of Austin, one brother, Dalton Wells, one sister, Patricia Vance, 5 grandchildren, Megan Bellamy, Molly Forbes, Misty Whittle, Christopher Forbes, and Briley Wyatt. Great-grandchildren, Mark Abel Bellamy and Timothy Elijah Bellamy, and several nieces and nephews. The funeral service for Jacqueline Womack will be at 1 o'clock Tuesday at Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home, burial at Lambert Cemetery. Visitation from 4 until 8 today and continuing tomorrow until the funeral hour. Donations for funeral expenses can be made at the funeral home. Funeral services for Eunice Marie Greathouse, age 96, of Bowling Green, will be at 11 o'clock Wednesday at Hardy & Son Funeral Homes, Bowling Green Chapel. Burial to Bethel Cemetery. Visitation begins Wednesday morning at 9. Service for Billy Willis, age 62, will take place Tuesday at 2 at the Patton Funeral Homes, Brownsville Chapel. Interment at the New Home Church Cemetery. Visitation from 2 until 7 today and from 10 until 2 on Tuesday at the funeral home. Funeral services for Wilma Lee Wyatt, age 85, will be at 1 o'clock Tuesday at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burial in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation today from 5 until 8, and then Tuesday morning until the funeral hour. Funeral services for Tommy D. Vincent, age 75, of Bee Spring, will be today at 2 o'clock at the Grayville Funeral Home. Burial to follow in the Key Cemetery. Funeral services for Christopher Kit Hundley Hancock, age 75, of Scottsville, will be today at 11 o'clock at the Goad Funeral Home. Burial in the Crescent Hill Cemetery. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day free at WCLUradio.com and on the WCLU app. No login is necessary.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's Highland-Pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
Do you have a working smoke detector in your home? South Central Bank and the American Red Cross are teaming up to make sure you do. Stop in and register today at South Central Bank locations on South Broadway, Happy Valley Road, or Beaver Trail in Glasgow. You can call 270-715-1129 or email SCKYHomefire at redcross.org. Here's the best part. On November the 11th and 12th, volunteers will come to your home and install the smoke detector, including a 10-year battery, and it's all free. Get your free smoke detector with the help of South Central Bank. Sign up today.
This WCLU weather update brought to you by Southern States.
One thing's for sure, seasons do change. We might not be able to predict the date of the next cold snap, but at Southern States, in business since 1923, we've seen some patterns. We're ready to fill your tanks and make sure you won't be chilled out by the seasonal changes. Southern States is ready to help you with seed and fertilizer for your pastures and your home lawns. We just love helping our customers prepare for the next season. We're Southern States, 300 Sampson Street in Glasgow. We're waking up with a beautiful start to the day, 62 degrees here from the WCLU studios, and the weather officials say look for a sunny day today and a high of 73. Tonight's going to be mostly clear. We'll drop to 49 for the low. Tuesday, sunshine and 72. Tuesday night, clear and 48. Wednesday, a sunny day and a high up to 75 degrees. And let's see here. We look at the current conditions. The barometer is at 30.27, 96% humidity. North winds at 6 miles an hour. Over the weekend at our rain gauge on Saturday, we got a mere 4 100ths. That's 0.04. It looked blustery, it looked rainy, and boy, it was blustery too. The winds in excess of 37 miles an hour at times. As I mentioned earlier, the highest amount of rainfall here in our neighborhood was in Tompkinsville. They had 0.4 of an inch of rain on Saturday. 62. Good Morning Live on WCLU and the Big Willie, and the weather brought to you by your Southern States Glasgow Cooperative.
What's better than a hand-cut sirloin cooked to perfection? A hand-cut sirloin cooked to perfection, along with the choice of fried or grilled shrimp. What a combo! Right now at Colton's Steakhouse and Grill, get a hand-cut 6-ounce sirloin cooked to order with a choice of fried or grilled shrimp. Served with 2 side items, delicious rolls and honey, plus endless peanuts. Get your sirloin and seafood fix at the same time, only at Colton's Steakhouse and Grill in Glasgow, Campbellsville, Radcliffe, and Bardstown. We know what's at stake. Sirloin and shrimp, too.
Protect your investment in your clothes and your image by having your clothes professionally dry cleaned at Key Cleaners in Glasgow. The Catron family has years of experience in caring for the most delicate of garments, as well as drapes and sheers, spreads and comforters, with convenient hours of 6:45 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and Saturday 8 till 1. Key 1-hour cleaners, Happy Valley Road, Glasgow, where we accept Visa and MasterCard.
All right, Good Morning Live, WCLU, 62 degrees. We'll check ag in a minute, but I think this is a neat thing that's coming up at the library. It's entitled, Don't Eat Bologna for Thanksgiving. Inflation impacts all of us, but Jordan Crane from the Barron County Extension Service will show you how to make delicious holiday meals on a budget at the Mary Wood Weldon Library tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Don't miss her great tips, recipes, and even some giveaways. That's going to be at the library at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Let's check out the Brownfield Ag Report this morning, brought to you by Best One Tire.
Hello, I'm Kellen Havikin with Ag Headline News on Brownfield. A member of the President's Council of Economic Advisors says improvements to the supply chain have provided some relief for farmers to rural America. Jared Bernstein tells Brownfield.
Ocean shipping costs, air freight costs, they're down. Goods are now getting from ship to shelf at the same rate they were pre-pandemic. And this has been helpful to farmers and to exporters to get their goods out there to market.
I'll have more news coming up next on Brownfield.
Hello, everyone. This is Joe and Rachel Dotson from Best One Tire in Glasgow.
We wanted to personally thank you for supporting our tire and repair business at 100 Shawn Lane.
Many of our customers come to us for ag and truck tire, but did you know we are capable of serving any size car or pickup?
With over 300 stores behind us, our buying power means we can pass on to you the very best pricing in our area.
We have many tires and tubes in stock, and we can do alignments on just about anything that rolls.
I was raised in Metcalfe County. After being away for a few years, Joe and I brought our family back to the area. And nothing brings us greater pleasure than servicing our neighbors when they are broke down in the field or on the road. We are here for you. We want to help you by taking the stress out of buying your next tires. We will work with any budget, anytime.
Come in and find out why we are the fastest growing tire company in Glasgow. We love this business. We love this town. Pretty soon you will be coming to our new store out on Highway 90 right here in Glasgow.
Best One Tire and Service, creating one raving fan at a time.
Rising interest rates and inflation are putting pressure on land decisions and farm costs. Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City's Nate Kaufman says those looking to finance land purchases are being more cautious.
There's maybe less demand for farmland in part because of higher interest rates, and those looking to finance are having more difficult times there.
Iowa State University Extension agronomist Megan Anderson says some Iowa farmers have noticed significant yield differences along cornfield edges this harvest.
Even though we had excellent field-wide yields in a lot of areas, we did see that edge effect issue pop up.
The University of Nebraska has broken ground on a commercial-sized cattle research center that leaders say could transform the beef supply chain. Chancellor Ronnie Green tells Brownfield.
That is built to reflect the industry, built to reflect the commercial scale of the industry, built to reflect the commercial conditions of the industry. That's pretty rare.
Visit brownfieldagnews.com for more on this story. I'm Kellen Havikin on Brownfield Ag News.
Let's get to know our Barron County attorney, Catherine Thomas.
I'm a small-town country girl with traditional core values. I was raised, I suspect, in much the same way as most of you. I'm a Christian, and I love Jesus, and I'm raising my daughter to do the same. I have no greater responsibility nor greater joy than being Avery's mom. I love my family and cherish the time spent with them. I teach children's worship each Sunday. I'm active in my child's school and have served on the site-based decision-making council for her school each year. I live by the golden rule. I'm a strict parent. Just ask my daughter. And I have very high expectations of her, though those expectations are none higher than those I set for myself. These principles guide me each day as your Barron County attorney. I'm proud of the record that I've set over the last 4 years, and I humbly ask for your continued support and your vote as your Barron County attorney.
Paid for by Catherine Thomas, Barron County attorney.
Good morning live, and happy birthday live, too. I'm going to get the paper out over here and tell you about some very special folks who are having birthdays today. We just learned about Richard L. Harlow. Richard L. Harlow. Mr. Harlow is turning 87 today. We have Roger Minyard, Bill Dearman. Anita Scott has a birthday today. It's Don Hart celebrating. Chloe Clark, Ed Bartley, Shirley Ross, Gary Butcher Taylor has a birthday today, too. Anniversaries, we have the big 30th anniversary for Tim and Michelle Richardson today. Larry and Donna Williams, Rick and Beverly Harbison all having anniversaries today. That's a big congratulations going out to you. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Online here, it's an easy snap at WCLUradio.com. And don't forget, giving away a DQ birthday cake to somebody today. Beautiful rose from Greer's Florist to somebody today. Got to get those names on here, though, in order for actually get their name even in the hat to be drawn. So let us know, okay? Let me tell you today, by special request, we are patching, I'm reading his nickname. We are patting Gary Butcher Taylor on the back today. If you happen to see Gary Taylor around, here's the thing. Pat him on the back. Remind him that he is, in fact, as good as gold. And hope he has a great birthday from his friends here at WCLU and a little taste of Texas.
Get more for your Medicare dollar, Bowling Green, with a $0 premium Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With a United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan, it's easier than ever to get more for your Medicare dollar, including better than ever dental, vision, over-the-counter, and prescription drug coverage. Take advantage. Call United Healthcare today at 1-888-CALL-UHC. That's 1-888-CALL-UHC. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
I'm going to play one more commercial.
Keep this thought in mind.
Then I will be ready to.
Every single person you meet, every single person you come in contact with today is special and important and valuable and unique. In Acts 17:25, the Bible says of Jesus Christ that he himself gives to all mankind life and breath and everything. Every single person you've ever seen, every single person you ever will see in the future, each of these people is a person of infinite value. Each person is made in the image of God. For God so loved the world. Each of these is someone that Jesus died for. Treat each person that way. This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
Thank you, Bart. Always good to have your wisdom on the radio each and every morning here on WCLU. Speaking of wisdom, let's go ahead and get Sam Terry on the air with the archives. Yes, we got about 100 years worth of things that have absolutely made a difference here in our community and built the foundation from which we are growing every day. And the archives today brought to you by Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services.
When there's work to be done, you get to it. And Joseph A. Wade Incorporated is here to help. They repair and make hydraulic hoses and repair hydraulic cylinders. If there's a problem, the Joseph A. Wade hydraulic team will help you find a solution. They're also a distributor for Croyle products. Plus, black and orange nitrile gloves are back in stock. Locally owned and operated, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated. Here to help since 1985. Located in the curve of Industrial Drive in Glasgow.
All right, good morning live, and good morning to Sam Terry. Hey, Sam, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you today, Henry?
I'm doing good. And I got to tell you, I just want to brag on the fact that Saturday, we had more people call the radio station, more people message us on our WCLUradio.com and say, look, we need to know about Sam Terry's cemetery tour. And you made a fabulous decision to say, well, let's just put it off a week, and we're going to do it on the 12th, on that Saturday. So I want to go ahead and begin reminding folks they didn't miss a thing.
Exactly.
Because the wind was up, and we had the potential for rain, and I think it might have hurt the crowd just because of people who didn't want to get caught out there in it. So anyway, you didn't miss Sam Terry's famous cemetery tour, historical walking tour of the cemetery this Saturday. It was postponed until this coming Saturday. So I want to be sure and put a plug in there for that. Okay.
That sounds great. Hope folks will come.
Yeah, and they're going to be in for a fabulous explanation of a lot of things around here. Why don't we go down memory lane then? If we've got a lot to talk about here in the way of the last 100 years. 1922, we got a picture right here. If you're watching on the EPB Channel 6 or on the Facebook Live, you can look at this picture right here. And Sam has provided this picture of the Beaches. That's with 2 E's, or 3 E's actually. The Beaches, home place of the Triggs, has been destroyed. What a headline that was this morning 100 years ago. The Beaches, the home place of the Trigg family on Maple Driveway, was destroyed by fire of unknown origin last Friday. Loss is estimated at $30,000 to $50,000. Now, this is 1922, $30,000 to $50,000, Sam. Insurance on the house and contents was about $15,000. That fails to cover the contents of the mansion alone. So, there we have that insurance deal. Mrs. J.W. Kruger, who was the only member of the family at home at this time, discovered the fire at 3:30 o'clock in the back room of the second floor. An alarm was turned in, and although outside the corporate limits of town, the fire department responded immediately and did the most commendable work with their limited chemical apparatus. The nearest hydrant was about 1,800 feet away and could not be reached with the equipment of the department. The Beaches is a home stand that was built in 1875 on order of the late H.C. Trigg, founder of the Trigg National Bank, at a cost of $18,000. It was built by Fletcher Smith and James A. Shirley, both deceased, but has served ever since as the home of the numerous Trigg family members. It was an imposing mansion of brick and included 14 large rooms within its walls, and with the estate on which it was situated was a showplace of the town and the scene of much political and social history. By far, it was the most stately home in Glasgow, and the irreparable loss was suffered in its destruction. With the house went a number of heirlooms, relics, and articles of jewelry that cannot be replaced. A well-written story about a fabulous place here in 1922. If you're looking at that picture on the EPB6 or on Facebook Live, you're seeing what clearly is a mansion, Sam.
Indeed. And, of course, for those who are not familiar, Trigg Court was developed from the Trigg estate and turned into a residential housing development. The Trigg home stood there sort of as though it would be in line with the other old homes on South Green Street that are set back a distance from the street. But interesting, $1875, spending $18,000 on a house was an enormous sum of money for a small rural community, and today that would be just under $500,000.
Oh, my goodness, that's what the years could do to your money, I guess.
Yes.
Well, anyway, it was a sad loss, and just think about all those, with the name the Trigg family has had around here. Think about the incredible loss of those personal contents, too.
Well, it was apparently quite a place, and there are some other newspaper accounts that bring to memory the fact that Mr. Trigg's personal study was known as the Prophet's Chamber, and the leaders of the community often met there to discuss how to take Glasgow and their business interests. And Mr. Trigg, of course, founded Trigg Bank. At one point, he owned the Glasgow Railway Company. He dabbled in all sorts of things, including the Trigg Foxhounds, and so they were far-reaching in their influence.
Well, it was a big loss for sure, 100 years ago today. 1932, in the Glasgow Republican, information about the Faught Music Company, that's F-A-U-G-H-T, the Faught Music and Radio Company, who leased the recently vacated Goodman Hardware Company on East Main Street, have received their goods and they're now open for business. They ask an inspection of anything in the music line. The concern came here from Elizabethtown, where it had been located for a number of years. They come recommended as excellent gentlemen and fine businessmen. This paper extends a hearty welcome to such citizens and believe they will make Glasgow their permanent home. How about that? 1932, on the rise with a music store and a radio store here in town, Sam.
Exactly. Exciting news.
1942, the headline here in the Glasgow Republican is, there's a new sign in town. Yes, a new checkerboard sign on our store means that we are now headquarters for Purina Chows and sanitary products. It also means that our big job is to be of service to the feeders of poultry and livestock in this community. Besides a good supply of Purina, we also carry a full line of farm supplies. We invite you to come in and get acquainted and to make our store your headquarters for feed and farm supply. That's the new sign there of the Purina checkerboards was put on the side of the Ideal Chevrolet Company. What about that for a marriage of a couple of different types of businesses, Sam?
Certainly was, and of course that was located on South Race Street, just below the old Christian church property, and eventually evolved into Ideal Hardware.
Right. Well, it sounded to me like they were very proud to be putting those checkerboards on the side of that building. And,
I would think so.
And, offering the great Purina line to the ag interest of this community. 1952, the Glasgow Times reports newly elected officers for the Glasgow Tri-High-Y Club. These folks were installed at a meeting of the group at the Methodist Church last week. Installed as president was Molly Carman. Hulda DeArmond was the vice president, Ora Hatchett's the secretary, and Grace Higginson is the treasurer. And Miss Mary Davis of the high school faculty is the counselor. Now, at the meeting, Lester Daniel discussed a Get Out the Vote drive with the group and it was decided to assist the Glasgow Junior Chamber of Commerce in the project. Now, there's some familiar names and some very seasoned veteran townspeople in that story, Sam.
They certainly are.
And
that group could accomplish things.
That's right. The Tri-High-Y Club had the new president and had a good program about getting out the vote there in 1952. 1962, some more big names. This was the results that were published in the Glasgow Times this day in 1962 for the punt, pass, and kick winners. The second annual punt, pass, and kick contest held Saturday at Gorin Park. Here's the winners. In the 11-year-old group, it's Ricky Garman first, Van Jeffrey Brower second, David Bewley third. In the 10-year-old group, it was Bobby Edwards first, Paul Chapman second, and Al Albany came in third. In the 9-year-old group, it was Fred Clark first, Jim Crow second, and Terry Harris third. In the 8-year-old group, Jimmy Bewley came in first place, Ricky Harris second place, and Joe David Myers third place. And in the 7-year-old group, it was young Joe Brian Strader who came in first. Some big names there who were just kind of beginning their athletic careers in 1962 as they were exposed in that Gilly Hyde Ford sponsored punt, pass, and kick contest there in 1962, Sam Terry.
A lot of fun.
That's right. It was a big deal, you know. It pretty challenging, too. This day in 1972, this was Election Day in 1972, and the news headline locally was Nixon wins in a landslide, carries 49 states, and none carries Barron, but D wins the U.S. Senate rate. D being, of course, Walter D. Huddleston from Elizabethtown. But nonetheless, we were certainly publishing the winners, and that's the way the county voted in 1972. Times do change, don't they?
They certainly do. But you know, the media always has the election result.
That's right, you know. Wins in a landslide.
We can count on it.
That's right. Including tomorrow night. This day in 1982, the Glasgow High School cheerleaders, there was a picture of them, I think, and this is in the Glasgow Times, a picture of the Glasgow cheerleaders building a pyramid in joy of the Scotty football team winning 20-7 over Edmonson County. So it was, good that the football team got a win, and even good that the Glasgow cheerleaders were showing their skill set there with a big pyramid in celebration of the football win. 1992 in the archives. This is the story about Bob Lynch of the Lynch Puppet Theater, who has been in the area for the past 2 days entertaining school children with the Southern fried version of Little Red Riding Hood. Now, the North Carolina puppeteer performed in the Barron County school system on Wednesday and was playing for the children of E.B. Terry in the city system on Thursday morning. The touring puppet master's appearance was sponsored by the Arts Entertainment Committee of the Glasgow Barron County Chamber of Commerce, and he was accompanied by Melanie Azrael of the Arts Committee. Certainly, that was a big deal there in 1992 to see the Chamber get involved in bringing these special groups and some special entertaining to our local children there. Sam Terry?
It certainly was. And, we didn't always have partnerships between our schools and the community as we do today.
Right.
And that was a new thing and a great thing to expose the children to that form of entertainment and learning.
And, of course, Ms. Melanie Azrael, always a champion of the arts, and she was certainly had a lot to do with making that happen around here for sure. 2002, the Barron County Progress reported R.R. Donnelly grants are awarded to 3 Glasgow schools to purchase books. This was a neat deal where they, R.R. Donnelly, being in the publishing business, says, let's give back to our community. And they were giving grants to have the school children be able to buy some books, courtesy of RRD. There's just no way. If we had a big, long scroll, we wouldn't have enough room to list all the various positive things that organization, R.R. Donnelly, did for our community in the number of years that they were here, for sure, Sam.
Indeed. very valuable asset.
This day in 2012, the Glasgow Scotty Band named the Class 2A champions in the KMEA band competition held at WKU. And, of course, they continue to win awards and make us all proud of what we have here with the Glasgow Scotty Band. That's the way the archives are looking this morning. But let's do one more plug right here, because I know that you're very involved in the First Presbyterian Church Election Day luncheon tomorrow. Now, we had, not that you can't describe food, Sam, but when we had Patty Hughes up here last week talking about it, she described that hot chicken salad and those copper carrots. You could taste them. Even if you're listening on the radio, you could taste them. So I want you to put a plug in here for that to do, sir, today at the First Presbyterian Church.
Well, I would suggest calling the church to make sure you can reserve a ticket. And the meal is always very popular, and people come year after year for that menu of the hot chicken salad, copper carrots, and all the extras, and of course a wide array of desserts.
And a wide array of hospitality too. You got to. That's to me. That's the most fun, is to sit down there and to talk to everybody there. Kind of an election thing, and it just really was it really always is a good deal, and that's going to be even tomorrow, Sam. So, thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate that picture of the Trigg house, because I don't, nobody around remembers what that house looked like, but we can only imagine it when we put it in the perspective of the way you described where that it is. And I appreciate you doing so today, sir.
Well, always a pleasure, Henry.
Have a good day, and we will talk again tomorrow. And don't forget, we got the cemetery tour this Saturday. If you missed it this past Saturday, you didn't miss it. It was postponed until this coming Saturday, so get it on list.
It was a Friday. We were wrapping up a slow night on highway patrol when the call came in. Deer Patrol, Buck speaking. Slow down, Tom, slow down. What's the problem? What? You hit a deer and Southern Kentucky Collision is going to give you a free turkey? Well, that sounds like a great idea. I'm sorry you don't agree, but Southern Kentucky Collision knows that deer do a ton of damage to vehicles. Kentucky's ranked 4th in the country in number of deer collisions this time of year. A free turkey when you bring your vehicle to Southern Kentucky Collision for repair of the deer damage is a great way to turn your luck around. Well, not your luck around. Southern Kentucky's Collision's respected work is well documented. So if you hit a deer, don't be a turkey. Get a turkey. Bring your vehicle to Southern Kentucky Collision. The 8th annual Hit a Deer, Get a Turkey event at Southern Kentucky Collision, Industrial Drive, Glasgow. No real deer or turkeys were harmed in the making of this commercial.
Here's the best part. On November the 11th and 12th, volunteers will come to your home and install the smoke detector, including a 10-year battery, and it's all free. Get your free smoke detector with the help of South Central Bank. Sign up today. In the WCLU Forecast Center today, we're going to have a nice one. We enjoy days like today. It looks to me like we're going to climb all the way to 73 for the high today. Tonight's going to be clear, low of 49. Sunny on Tuesday, a high of 72. Tuesday night, clear and 48. Wednesday, sunny and 75. We're at 62 right now. We just had 0.04 of an inch of rain over the weekend on Saturday, and that's not counting how much of it blew across the top of the rain bucket where we didn't get to measure, because that was the big deal on Saturday. Truly was the wind. 62, weather brought to you by your friends at South Central Bank. Speaking of the weather, as Brendan was telling you last hour, we've got indication that we're going to have much colder air in here sometime next week, or certainly markedly cooler than where we are now. So don't forget that Jimmy Holloway at Glasgow Building Supply is sending out a warning for you to get out there before they run out of sorghum molasses. So on a cold morning, you take that a knife and you open up that biscuit, and that little heated steam comes steaming out of the middle of that biscuit, and you slap that sorghum molasses on it, and you'll certainly be ready for the day. Glasgow Building Supply has that direct transported with care by Jimmy Holloway himself from Allen County. Get yours today. And your wonderful building material selection, too, at Glasgow Building Supply.
Transparency, fiscal responsibility, innovation, and leadership are all things that Barron Countyans need and deserve from their judge executive. And those are the exact things that Jamie Bewley-Byrd plans to bring to the office.
Hi, I'm Jamie Bewley-Byrd, and I am running to represent you, the people of Barron County, as your next Barron County Judge Executive. Let's work together, grow business, improve quality of life, and celebrate the awesome community that we are a part of. I'm Jamie Bewley-Byrd, and I humbly ask for your vote and support.
Paid for by Jamie Bewley-Byrd for Barron County Judge Executive.
Hey, this is Chef Danny with the Fine Arts Bistro, located on the square in downtown Glasgow, Kentucky. We are open for breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Saturday brunch from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Our well-rounded menu has something for everyone. Omelets to biscuits, homemade sausage gravy. We have creative and delicious sandwiches to crisp and refreshing salads. Fine Arts Bistro uses local ingredients, homemade recipes, and has a seasonal menu to make sure its dishes are new and exciting. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram to find out more about the Fine Arts Bistro.
All right, let me remind you about some big things coming up. And there are, we talked about this around the radio station last week, because we want to be sure to give equal time to as many of these wonderful events as we possibly can. And that's going to include this Higher Ground Drama Ministry at Coral Hill Baptist Church. They're excited to present Don't Kick the Turkeys, which is a drama by Andy and Jennifer Hansen. Dinner performances Friday and Saturday, November the 11th and 12th at 6 each evening, with a performance only on Sunday, November the 13th. Tickets for the meal are only $10.50 per person, currently on sale. Better get them, though, because I know this is a popular event. Seating for the dinner is limited. Tickets must be purchased in advance. You got to call the church office. Do that this morning at 453-4108 and be ready to go. Let's try to see if you can win a pizza.
Little Caesars presents delicious duos like bacon and eggs, spaghetti and meatballs, and of course peanut butter and jelly. Now Little Caesars brings you a large hot and ready slices and sticks. A delicious duo featuring 4 slices of pepperoni pizza together with 8 tasty slices of Italian cheese sticks plus crazy sauce for only $6. Little Caesars hot and ready slices and sticks is just $6. Available every day when you walk in between 4 and 8 at Little Caesars.
Pizza. At participating locations plus tax. Prices may vary.
651-9149, 800-956-1023. Can you answer this trivia question? If you can, then you got a big pizza from Little Caesars Pizza that you can enjoy. Got a multiple choice question for you here today. Let's see how we do. Here's the question. There are 7 U.S. presidents that have been exactly 6 feet tall. Can you name 2 of them? 7 of the United States presidents have been exactly 6 feet tall. That's the most of any. That's the most height of any. Can you name any 2 of the presidential presidents that were 6 feet tall? Trivia.
Lincoln and Jefferson?
No, that's not right. Actually, neither one of them are on that list. They that are exactly 6 feet tall. Trivia.
Lincoln and Clinton?
No, that's not right. Neither one of those are exactly 6 feet tall. Keep going. Hello, Trivia. Are you there? Well, we disconnected. Hello, Trivia.
Kennedy and Nixon?
Let's see. Nope, neither one of those are in the 6 feet tall range either. It's not a 6 feet tall range. I'm looking for exactly 6 feet tall. Sorry about that. Trivia.
Obama and Johnson.
Say that again?
Obama and Johnson.
Nope. Neither one of those were exactly 6 feet tall. Hello, Trivia.
Jackson and Kennedy?
Neither one of those. It's funny, we've had lots of good calls, but we haven't even gotten one of the presidents that were 6 feet tall, much less 2. Trivia.
Neither one of those.
Hello, Trivia. Yeah, we got a lot of radios turned up out there, which is good. It just puts us on a delay. Hello, Trivia.
Reagan and Ford?
No, well, actually, Ford is one of them. Trivia.
Monroe and Tyler.
Let me look. Nope. Trivia.
George Washington and Gerald Ford.
That's right. Who's this speaking?
John Garrett.
John, how you doing?
Doing good. I wasn't sure about Ford until you said that a second ago.
You're right about that. And I'm sitting there. I'm afraid that maybe I told somebody else that they were wrong, but they might have been right, but I was trying to follow along. But, John, you're the guy who got it. George Washington, the first president, was exactly 6 feet tall. So was James Monroe, the 5th president. So was John Tyler, the 10th president. So was James Buchanan, the 15th president. James A. Garfield, number 20, was 6 feet tall. So was Warren Gamaliel Harding, number 29. He was 6 feet tall. And Gerald Ford, number 38. He was 6 feet tall. So you see, we had the 6 feet is the actual. That's the highest. The most presidents that have been 6 feet tall. 7 exactly. Of course, everybody. Lincoln was the tallest. Lincoln was 6'4". He was a tall feller, you know. And then the second tallest president, John Garrett, was Lyndon Johnson. He was a tall fella too, you know. The one that threw me off was Reagan. You know, always, John. Maybe it's because of some of these westerns and all that he was in, but I always thought he was like a really long, tall, Texan-looking fella. But Reagan was only 6'1". Did you know that?
No, sir, I didn't.
Well, so when you look at him, see how tall he is there. He is tall, but 6'1" is tall. But he doesn't make the top numbers in there. Okay, John. Let me hold on just a second. I'll get your address so we can mail you the pizza coupon. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for tuning in. I'll certainly have another question tomorrow here on WCLU. And it is true. There are 7 presidents who are 6 feet tall. And I gave you the list, and who knows where we'll go tomorrow. Come back and find out, won't you?
Yellowstone, television's #1 show, returns on Paramount Network.
I, John Dutton, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the state of Montana against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Featuring an all-star cast led by Academy Award winner Kevin Costner.
The invasion is over.
They will fight you dirty.
Is there any other way?
As the Dutton family fights to protect their legacy, they'll learn power has a price.
Signing this is a declaration of war.
We're already at war.
Yellowstone returns Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for an epic 2-hour premiere event exclusively on Paramount Network.
Good morning from Forever Communications. WCLU Glasgow, W276VO Glasgow, WLLI Muffordville, WLYE Glasgow, W253BN Glasgow. Good morning live.
CBS News Brief. Just a day to go until midterm elections that could shift the balance of power in Congress. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
Violent crime is surging in Wisconsin.
Political groups in Wisconsin have spent millions of dollars on ads focused on crime, and it appears to be having an impact. The issue registers as a top concern for voters, just behind the economy and inflation.
Stark warnings at the start of the COP27 climate change conference in Egypt. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres.
We are on a highway to climate hell with our foot still on the accelerator.
He calls it a choice between climate solidarity and collective suicide. Here in the U.S., lottery players are hoping to win it big in tonight's $1.9 billion Powerball drawing.
Everybody dreams of winning big. Somebody's got to say relief.
The prize is the largest in lottery history. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
When we lost Frank, we lost a good friend.
Father, husband, colleague, and coach. He meant a lot to all of us.
Today, we had a chance to tell him that.
When someone close to you passes on, you want to commemorate their life in a special way. That's why individual requests are such an important part of our funeral services. We strive to meet your specific needs for the most fitting service for your loved ones. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
Injuries and illnesses that require immediate attention can happen anytime, any day of the week. That's why TJ Urgent Care is open daily, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their team of doctors and nurse practitioners are highly trained in caring for your family's urgent health care needs. With on-site lab, radiology, and pharmacy, TJ Urgent Care provides the ultimate convenience. No appointment is needed, and TJ Urgent Care is open 7 days a week. TJ Urgent Care, located at the TJ Health Pavilion in Glasgow. TJ Urgent Care, total local care.
Well, good day. It's Monday, November 7th, 61 degrees, 7:09 now, and welcome into the 7 o'clock morning edition. I'm Brennan Crane, joining you for this newscast. It's great to have you with us today. Our weather forecast, mostly sunny with a high near 74 degrees today, and that's going to be the trend for the next few days. Those highs being in the low 70s here at the front end of the week, and then about midweek, 76 degrees on Wednesday, and we'll dip back down a little bit toward the end of the week. But get this, by the weekend and into next week, we are going to have some chilly temperatures. Looks like that high on Saturday already being forecasted just at 46 degrees, and Sunday even lower, 43 degrees and sunny. In news this hour, a woman has been arrested in connection to the death of her father in Barron County. 75-year-old Michael Loxton was discovered dead on July 9th inside his Glasgow home. An arrest citation alleges a device he had used to breathe was linked to certain suspicious activity. 45-year-old Cheryl Leanne Bennett of McMinnville, Tennessee, was arrested along Tanglewood Drive Thursday in connection to this incident. Bennett was charged with murder and remains lodged at the Barron County Jail. She is Loxton's daughter, according to an obituary. Records obtained from a subpoena reveal a BiPAP machine had been powered off numerous times before it was powered down for a final time. The machine was last turned off for 4 hours, police say. Now, Cheryl Loxton, who's the victim's wife, told police she and her daughter Leanne were the only two individuals present when that breathing machine was turned off. An autopsy conducted at the state medical examiner's office, it concluded Loxton's death was a homicide. His causes of death, they were determined to be asphyxia and suffocation due to the powering down of that BiPAP machine. Glasgow police say additional charges are expected in this investigation, and that case, it remains open. Well, tomorrow is Election Day, and of course we've been hearing about it now for several weeks. It is a high-stakes election, as many people are calling it. It's the midterm election. Of course, that's always the way it's branded, if you will, at the national political level. Here locally, though, it's a big deal. Of course, we are voting for our local leaders for the next 4 years. Mayor, also voting for judge executive, county attorney, sheriff, all those sorts of offices. And again, the legislative bodies like fiscal court and city councils, those will also be voted upon tomorrow. Now, many people turned out for early voting, and we've received some preliminary numbers, and these are unofficial, so keep that in mind. But we understand from the Barron County Clerk's Office that 1,341 people voted on Thursday, 1,402 people voted on Friday, and 1,244 people voted on Saturday in what was early voting here across the Commonwealth. And of course, these are the numbers for Barron County specifically. Now, before the early unexcused voting, there was a period there at the clerk's office that lasted about a week, and that was called early excused voting. If you recall, that's where folks who had one of the excuses that the State Board of Elections allows could go and vote. And we understand from the clerk's office that 185 people voted there for the 6-day excused early voting. So again, these are preliminary numbers. They're unofficial, and we'll have a better grasp on this at a little later date. But by tomorrow evening, we'll be broadcasting here from our studios, and we'll be letting you know election returns, what they're shaping up to look like, and hopefully we'll be able to conclude who has won the election for each of these offices. So it'll be something that you'll want to tune into. That begins at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, Tuesday, November 8th, here at WCLU. You can catch us on the air, and of course we'll be live on YouTube, Glasgow Electric Plant Board Channel 6, and of course Facebook Live. Now, tomorrow being Election Day, there are going to be 8 places across Barron County that you can go and vote. And that's a big deal because a lot of folks are still asking about their precinct location. Remember, that's no longer the protocol. That's no longer how we're doing the election here in Barron County. And, of course, a lot of other counties across the region as well. You'll be able to vote at one of 8 voting centers. It does not matter where you live or where you previously voted. So keep this in mind. If you're going to vote on Tuesday, here are the places that you may vote. Austin Tracy Volunteer Fire Department, Barron County High School Gymnasium, Beckton Community Center, Cave City Convention Center, Haywood Volunteer Fire Department, Highsville Volunteer Fire Department, Park City Lions Club, and Temple Hill Volunteer Fire Department. All of those are the 8 locations that you'll be able to go and vote on Tuesday. Those are available at our website, WCLUradio.com. And speaking about that election, Kentuckians casting their ballots will now have to show a photo ID in order to vote. Kentucky is one of around a dozen states that have imposed stricter voter ID requirements since 2020. More from our Nadia Ramlakan.
League of Women Voters of Kentucky board member Susan Weston explains that valid forms of photo identification include a driver's license, passport, U.S. Defense Department, college, or local government ID. She says people who have recently moved to the state or who don't drive are most likely to face barriers.
If you flat out can't get any of those IDs, there's one more option, which is an affirmation when you go to vote.
Weston says individuals can fill out a form at the polls explaining why they can't get a photo ID and then show another form of ID, such as a Social Security card or SNAP benefits card. Kentucky's State Board of Elections recently created a YouTube video breaking down the new photo ID rules. Voting hours are 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. statewide on Election Day. Weston adds that if you are in line at 6 p.m., you will be allowed to vote. Nadia Ramlagan reporting.
All right. Thank you, Nadia. Again, you're hearing about the election. You'll continue to hear about it likely through the end of the week, really. And as we progress through the rest of the week, we'll be hearing more about the results that you want to know about. And that, of course, is how the election shaped up, how those voters voted. And, of course, we'll have all that information available to you. Download the WCLU Radio app to be ahead of that curve and be sure you're ready to receive those breaking news updates. We do want to let you know about a couple of housekeeping items here. Of course, we've talked about it with the archives. Historian Sam Terry's historical walking tour of the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. It was slated to happen this past Saturday, November 5th at 10 o'clock in the morning. But due to the wind, of course, and the rain that was in the forecast this past week, that has been now postponed to Saturday, November 12th at 10 a.m. That's this coming Saturday. And again, the protocol is still the same. We understand it's just that the date has been changed. Remember, we'll update you about this closer to time, but if you're planning to do that, you can plan to be there Saturday, November 12th at 10 o'clock in the morning, the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Be sure you're parking along the roadside in the portion there of the cemetery and then meet at the columns. And that tour, it's expected to last about an hour and 15 minutes. And in the way of another event, the Sip, Shop, and Stroll that was slated to be put on by the Glasgow Downtown Business Association this past Saturday, it was canceled and it's going to be postponed as well. That was due to high winds in the forecast. They made that decision late Friday to cancel the event. We understand that they will be rescheduling that event and it looks like it will be in the springtime. And we understand that vendors should have gotten an email from the Downtown Business Association, but if you did not check in with them on that, they said that they will be issuing refunds or will give those folks who are going to participate now a later, or rather the first go at those spots that will be available in the springtime. 7:17 now at 61 degrees. No activity on this morning's 911 report. You're listening to WCLU Local News.
Do you have a working smoke detector in your home? South Central Bank and the American Red Cross are teaming up to make sure you do. Stop in and register today at South Central Bank locations on South Broadway, Happy Valley Road, or Beaver Trail in Glasgow. You can call 270-715-1129 or email sckyhomefire at redcross.org. Here's the best part. On November the 11th and 12th, volunteers will come to your home and install the smoke detector, including a 10-year battery, and it's all free. Get your free smoke detector with the help of South Central Bank. Sign up today.
Kentucky. It's 4th and long. The Titans are going to need a miracle to win this game. The quarterback is calling an audible at the line.
800, 4,600, 800, 4,600.
The pass is up. Touchdown, Titans! It always pays to make the right call. If you've been injured in a car wreck, make the right call. Hughes and Coleman, 800-800-4600. Call today for a free case evaluation. Hughes and Coleman, the official injury lawyers of the Tennessee Titans.
Principal Office, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Hughes & Coleman is proud to be the official injury lawyers of the Tennessee Titans. To celebrate, Hughes & Coleman is giving away 2 free club-level tickets to every Titans home game and suite tickets to select Titans games. All you have to do is go to titans.hughesandcoleman.com, titans.hughesandcoleman.com, and register for your chance to win. Valid for residents 18 years or older in Tennessee and Kentucky. See titans.hughesandcoleman.com for official rules. Principal Office, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
This election, vote no on Amendment 2. Amendment 2 is a government mandate that would take away our individual rights. Amendment 2 is an extreme measure that bans all abortions, no exceptions. Not for the life of the mother or in the case of rape or incest. The decision to have an abortion should be made between a woman, her doctor, family, and faith. There's no telling how far politicians will go. We have to vote no on Amendment 2. Abortions in Kentucky have always been highly regulated. Abortion later in pregnancy is banned in Kentucky, and all women seeking an abortion must go through mandatory counseling. Amendment 2 puts women and families in danger. Miscarriages become fatal. Pregnancy complications can threaten a mother's life. It's why religious leaders and doctors across the state are voting no. Tell politicians Amendment 2 goes too far. On November 8th, vote no on Amendment 2.
Paid for by Protect Kentucky Access.
Welcome back into WCLU Local News. 7:20 now at 61 degrees. Weather forecast today, mostly sunny with a high near 74 degrees. By this evening, 47 for your low and mostly clear. And by Tuesday, 71 sunny skies. Midweek will be the warmest day of the week. It looks like 76 degrees and sunny. And get this, by the end of the week, we are going to be on the decline as far as temperatures go. By Friday evening, looks like right above freezing for your low. And into next weekend, wow, those highs only going to be in the upper 40s and eventually in the low 40s. So get ready for that cool down. It's coming next week. Kentucky's only competitive race for Congress is in the district that includes Louisville. The state's largest city has been a Democratic stronghold for more than a decade. State Senator Morgan McGarvey is hoping to follow in the footsteps of fellow Democrat John Yarmuth, the longtime congressman who is retiring after 8 terms. Louisville businessman Stuart Ray is hoping to become the first Republican to win the congressional seat since 2004. 5 incumbent Republicans, they are expected to cruise to re-election in Kentucky's other congressional districts. 3 horses, including one trained by embattled Hall of Famer Bob Baffert, were observed for medical issues after being pulled up in separate incidents during Saturday's Breeders' Cup Championships at Keeneland. Baffert-trained Messier was pulled up after the second race after jockey John Velasquez observed bleeding. The 3-year-old colt was taken to the barn for evaluation and was stable and comfortable. British gelding Domestic Spending was pulled up by jockey Flavian Prott just after the far turn during the $2 million Breeders' Cup Mile after appearing off with his left hind limb. Domestic Spending did not appear to have a fracture but was taken to a local equine hospital for evaluation. And finally today, a very good story here. 4 missing World War II military medals found in a Tennessee safe deposit box have been returned to the soldier's family. The Tennessee Department of Treasury Division of Unclaimed Property says it located Joseph R. Foster's family with the help of a social media campaign launched about a year ago. Foster, who died in 2010, served in the U.S. Army in Germany during the war and was awarded the medals. They were discovered in an abandoned safe deposit box in a Nashville area bank after his death and turned over to unclaimed property. Foster's children, Melissa Foster Washington and David Foster, they were given those medals during a ceremony at the state capitol. 7:23, 61 degrees. Have a great Monday. I'm Brennan Crane.
At Metro by T-Mobile, you can save more. Choose from the largest selection of free 5G phones from brands you love, like Samsung, with one line of unlimited 5G for $40, period. Taxes and fees included. That's the lowest price in prepaid. Switch now and get both to save more, only at Metro. If congested, the fraction of users greater than 35 gigabytes per month may notice reduced speeds, and Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus T-Mobile due to prioritization. Video streams in SD requires eligible port-in. See store for details.
At Don Franklin, we're more than a group of car dealerships. We're hardworking, everyday people of Kentucky. We strive daily to give 110% to our customers, our employees, and our families. We are committed to providing everyone with a safe and reliable vehicle, and we continue our tradition of supporting our local communities. At all 24 dealerships across Kentucky, we will treat you like family. Don Franklin Family of Dealerships, we are Kentucky.
Good Morning Live, 724 on WCLU and on the Big Witty. And as we always brag on the fact that we love company bright and early in the morning, even if we're not sure what time it is. But in case you're having trouble adjusting, it's 24 minutes after 7 o'clock. And yes, if you got up at the normal time this morning, you noticed that the sun was up a little more than it has been. So let's talk about our company here this morning. Let me welcome to the radio station, President of South Central Bank. Well, actually, he's got like a long title, but this is Mr. Owen Lambert, who is with us live this morning today.
Good morning.
Owen, how you doing?
Feel great.
Everything all right with you? Did you get your clocks changed around?
All that matter.
Yeah, okay, that's good. See, I have some that do it automatically, but some of the most important ones are like older than I am, and I got to do it by hand. So,
yeah, but that's been a week-long process for me.
Just go around and check them out. We have Owen here for a real special reason, and this is one. Listen up real closely. South Central Bank has for several years done the Veterans Day breakfast, or the Veterans Breakfast close to Veterans Day, but because of COVID, it's been this drive-through, which has been very, very well attended, I can tell you that. But this year, South Central Bank has made the decision to bring it back inside with a sit-down breakfast at the Ops Center located at the corner of Cleveland Avenue and the Bypass. And I know, Owen, you want to send out a very, very important invitation to all of our veterans.
I do. Henry, I think this is our 17th year.
My goodness.
And we want to commemorate the sacrifices that have been made by all veterans.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start serving breakfast at 7 a.m. We'll have a light program starting somewhere around 8 o'clock.
Okay.
We'll conclude at 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, it'll be a sit-down breakfast. The Glasgow Police Department Color Guard will be there to present the colors, and Robbie Fudge will be there with his bugle and play as the colors are presented. And we're also going to have contributions from the Glasgow Fire Department.
I have noticed. I've had the honor of being there the last several years, and my goodness, the involvement of not just the veterans, but of our local first responders who feel a closeness to the veterans, and they come and participate, and it just makes for a wonderful start to the day.
Well, the things that our first responders do is nothing less than heroic, and I mean heroic every day. They commit selfless acts every single day, and the same is true of our veterans. They've got that in their history.
Yes.
And, you know, it seems kind of rhetorical to say this, but I think it is still important that we remember that freedom isn't free, and our veterans throughout history have been the people who have guaranteed our freedom.
Well, let's make sure that people know it's going to be the 10th day. It's going to be not the 11th, it's the 10th. It always has been the day before Veterans Day.
That's Thursday.
That's Thursday. That's
the
right.
The location is 501 L. Rogers Wells Boulevard.
Okay. All
here
right.
in Glasgow.
All right. And the important thing to know is that the camaraderie, I have, like I say, having been there for a while, I enjoy seeing the people who respect the veterans, but I do enjoy seeing the veterans who come out and are comfortable with saying, yep, I'm a veteran, and I'm proud I'm a veteran. I like that it's a two-way get-together.
Absolutely, and we'll have some people that will choose to be in uniform, those who still fit in their uniforms.
That's right.
And
that's something to show. That's a whole nother show-off thing.
That's right. And one thing that I did fail to mention, even though we're going to have a program at 8 o'clock, just come and go as you
Sure.
please.
Sure. Maybe you have somewhere to be at 8 o'clock. Don't not come and eat because of that.
That's exactly right. That's why we start at 7 and conclude at 9.
And you got a good, the South Central Bank staff out there. The staff is always very well represented out there at the Ops Center when you have the Veterans Breakfast.
This is something that our staff's excited about, and one of the best elements of this for me is having the memory that this didn't start as a bank-sponsored event.
Right.
Our staff did this on their own, and our staff funded it. It's entirely voluntary.
Well, you got to be proud of your staff. We're proud of the veterans, proud of first responders, and we're tickled that South Central Bank not only stepped up again, but stepped up and said, hey, as quick as we can get it as a sit-down internal event, let's get it back there, and this is the year it's going to happen.
We're looking forward to it.
All right. Anything else that we missed right here, sir? Anybody need to I don't know what kind of questions you might have, but South Central Bank's easy to talk to anybody out there. If you got a question, somebody will get it answered for you.
That's right.
Sure.
651-7466.
Okay. All right. Owen, thanks for stopping in bright and early this morning, sir. And we'll look forward to the big event on Thursday, the 10th of November, starting at 6 o'clock. The Veterans Breakfast this year. Come in, set a spell. It's really easy to park, too, I'll tell you that. The last couple of years we had this drive-through lane thing going on, but, now we can get closer to the building and park, and it's going to be good.
That's right.
Okay, Owen, thank you, and thank you so much for South Central Bank's involvement in this Veterans event. 61 degrees now at 7:30.
If you were about to have your last McRib ever, you'd want some warning. So this is your notice to enjoy the sauciest McDonald's sandwich more than ever, because the McRib Farewell Tour has begun.
This is your chance to say 2 final goodbyes to a classic. For a limited time, enjoy 2 McRib sandwiches for only $6. Hurry before they're gone. At participating McDonald's, McD app download and registration required.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yellowstone, television's #1 show, returns on Paramount Network.
I, John Dutton, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the state of Montana against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Featuring an all-star cast led by Academy Award winner Kevin Costner.
The invasion is over.
They will fight you dirty.
Is there any other way?
As the Dutton family fights to protect their legacy, they'll learn power has a price.
Signing this is a declaration of war. We're already at war.
Yellowstone returns Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for an epic 2-hour premiere event exclusively on Paramount Network.
Do you have a working smoke detector in your home? South Central Bank and the American Red Cross are teaming up to make sure you do. Stop in and register today at South Central Bank locations on South Broadway, Happy Valley Road, or Beaver Trail in Glasgow. You can call 270-715-1129 or email sckyhomefire@redcross.org. Here's the best part. On November the 11th and 12th, volunteers will come to your home and install the smoke detector, including a 10-year battery, and it's all free. Get your free smoke detector with the help of South Central Bank. Sign up today.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
If you feel like you're stuck with a healthcare plan that isn't affordable, or you simply just don't like how it works, well, right now, during open enrollment is a perfect time to switch to Medi-Share. The typical family saves $500 a month when they join Medi-Share, and what's more, they like it. Medi-Share has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to the industry. That's double. And Medi-Share is the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. It's been around for 30 years. It's shared more than $4 billion in healthcare bills. And here's why now is the perfect time to make the switch. If you join Medi-Share Complete by January 1st, they will waive your new member fees and you'll save an additional 10% off your first year. No fee to join, 10% off every month for all of next year. But again, it's a limited time offer. So yeah, you're not stuck. You've got a great option. Call now. 844-53-BIBLE. That's 844-53-BIBLE. 844-53-BIBLE.
732. Good morning live. 62 degrees. Let's have a beautiful day together. Let's start off Monday as we do each day every Monday and learn about some of our latest businesses. This is Banking on Business, made possible by the People's Bank.
This is Terry Bunnell, Chairman, President, CEO
know the People's Bank. Have you heard about the great rates going on now at the People's Bank? Open a 12-month CD and earn 2.60 annual percentage yield, or open a 60-month CD and earn 4% annual percentage yield. We have other great CD options as well. Take advantage of this limited time offer before it's too late. Stop by the People's Bank, 1300 West Main Street, to open your new CD today. The People's Bank, working for you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Annual percentage yield based on quarterly compounding. $1,000 minimum opening deposit. Limited time offer. Rate is fixed for the term of the certificate. Penalty for early withdrawal. Not valid with any other promotional rate offer. Valid on new deposits only.
This is Terry Bennell with the People's Bank, and welcome to another segment of Banking on Business. This morning I'm with Tamara Clark. We're at Coldwell Banker Legacy Group, 204 Calvary Drive in Glasgow. Welcome to today's program.
Oh, thank you.
It's great to be in the shop, and especially in this room at the closing table.
The closing table, our number one favorite place.
It's got to be. Got to have a closing with real estate.
Yes.
Tell us what's going on with the real estate market right now.
Well, as you know, being in the banking business, it has slowed down due to the higher interest rates. It's not dead like some people think.
Right.
I mean,
definitely not dead.
No, definitely not dead. A lot of agents are having record years because they're really putting themselves out there and stuff.
Right,
as if I've already met my goal for the year.
Well, congratulations.
And still got more closings to do. So
fantastic.
I'm pleased.
But what do you see people looking for now when it comes to buying property?
Most people are trying to move up.
Okay. Larger
homes.
Space. Okay. More amenities.
More land if possible.
Really? Okay. So is that just people are looking to do more things with that land, or you think just people want the space?
The space,
right.
Definitely. A lot of people, especially we're getting a lot of people coming from out of state.
Okay.
And they're used to smaller lands with higher price tags.
Okay.
And when they see what they can get for the same amount of money here,
okay,
you know, it's going to have 2+ acres.
Right. So seeing a lot more value in the property
Absolutely.
here in our area. Now, what do people need to know when they start looking at a house? What's the number one thing, maybe two things that they need to really be aware of?
The best thing I feel like a buyer can do for themselves is to meet with their banker, get that pre-approval,
okay,
to know what they can afford.
Right.
You don't want to look at a house that you can't afford.
Exactly.
And you don't want to settle for something if you could afford more what you really wanted.
Right. Okay. All right. That's good advice for the buyer. What about the seller? I got some property to sell. What do I need to be doing?
You need to clean it up, declutter.
Okay.
Staging helps some, depending on the price point.
Sure.
And your availability to do such. You know, some people can't.
Right.
You know, but
just the agent can only do so much.
True.
The seller has to do a little bit of work in that, don't they?
A lot of buyers complain, I think, when they see the photos, because we tend to show just the best. We want to highlight a property.
Right. Now you can help buyers that are maybe first-time buyers, bought for many times, so just a variety of buyers, right?
True.
I mean, no special group.
Yeah. And a buyer that's bought before can still qualify for first-time buyer's loans, depending on how long it's been.
Sure, exactly.
So,
now, how can people find out the properties you have listed, learn a little bit more information about you?
We have a website, coldwellbanker.com.
Phone number people can reach out?
270-590-2680.
We appreciate you watching and listening this morning to another segment of Banking on Business, being with Tamara Clark here at Coldwell Banker Legacy Group at 204 Calvary Drive in Glasgow. If you're looking to buy a house, sell a house, Tamara's the person you need to talk to.
Absolutely.
Got lots of experience and has done fantastic helping people out. So again, thanks for what you do in our community.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me today.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you again for watching and listening.
Hi, I am Jamie Bewley-Byrd, and I'm running to be your next Barron County Judge Executive. I'm running because I believe that Barron County has even brighter days ahead. I believe that Barron County's good old days are in front of us and not behind us. Barron County is where I run my own business and where my husband and I have made a home for our family. It's time to elect a leader ready to make changes and truly champion all of Barron County. I'm Jamie Bewley-Byrd, and I humbly ask for your support and your vote for the future of Barron County.
Refine, revitalize, and restore with great gifts for any occasion. Glasgow's premier med spa, R Plus, is here to help you enhance your self-image by celebrating your unique beauty. Shop from the brands we love at our retail store, or purchase a gift certificate for any of our services, from hydrofacials and skin pen to laser treatments and massage therapy. Pamper your loved one today with the gift of care from R Plus Med Spa in Glasgow.
You know, running for mayor of Glasgow really has nothing to do with politics. It's not about who you know or what you have. It's about stepping up to take care of what we have while we expand the opportunities to every citizen in Glasgow. I want people to never forget what we have been blessed with and do our part to continue our community pride. I'm Henry Royce, and I want to lead the effort to get us all on the same page and to make our home a player in the growth of Southern Kentucky.
The Glasgow Police Department, we strongly believe in outreach and getting involved with our community.
Obviously, we're doing more than just out in the community writing tickets. We're here for the community when they call for help.
We deal with medical patients, we deal with all kinds of sorts of things and all kinds of different people.
I enjoy getting the calls of, hey, I need gas, can you bring me a gas can?
We're always involved in stuff and just trying to invest in our community and make it better.
Glasgow's always been my home. This is where I was born and raised, and this is where I'll stay.
A lot of calls this time of the day where people are wondering what time it is. Well, I'm going to tell you, it is 7:39. 7:39 is our time here on Good Morning Live, which means it's plenty of time to tell you who all's having birthdays today. We have Heather Berube having a birthday. Happy birthday to Heather Berube. Richard L. Harlow. Richard, we understand, is 87 today. Roger Minyard, happy birthday. Bill Dearman with a birthday. Miss Anita Scott celebrates. Don Hart. Chloe Clark. Ed Bartley. Gary Butcher Taylor. Shirley Ross has a birthday today, too. We've got several couples on the anniversary side of the ledger. It's Rick and Beverly Harbison, Larry and Donna Williams. We have Tim and Michelle Richardson. It is the 30th anniversary for Tim and Michelle Richardson today. Congratulations. Lines are open, 651-9149-800-956-1023, and online here from WCLUradio.com. It is by special request Gary Butcher Taylor Day. I want to be sure he's known as Good as Gold. And if you happen to see Gary Butcher Taylor around today, you pat him on the back and remind him he's good as gold too. From WCLU and a little taste of Texas, where they can put on a celebration. You got somebody having a birthday today, you want to take them out to the finest place to dine, check them out at A Little Taste of Texas for the evening meal, even this evening. It's exactly 7:41 on the mark. Set your clock, and let's enjoy this daylight savings time, shall we?
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, if you feel like you're stuck with a healthcare plan that isn't affordable, or you simply just don't like how it works, well, right now, during open enrollment is a perfect time to switch to Medi-Share. The typical family saves $500 a month when they join Medi-Share, and what's more, they like it. Medi-Share has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to the industry. That's double. And Medi-Share is the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. It's been around for 30 years. It's shared more than $4 billion in healthcare bills. And here's why now is the perfect time to make the switch. If you join Medi-Share Complete by January 1st, they will waive your new member fees, and you'll save an additional 10% off your first year. No fee to join, 10% off every month for all of next year. But again, it's a limited time offer. So yeah, you're not stuck. You've got a great option. Call now, 844-53-BIBLE. That's 844-53-BIBLE. 844-53-BIBLE.
Yellowstone, television's #1 show, returns on Paramount Network.
I, John Dutton, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the state of Montana against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Featuring an all-star cast led by Academy Award winner Kevin Costner.
The invasion is over.
They will fight you dirty.
Is there any other way?
As the Dutton family fights to protect their legacy, they'll learn power has a price.
Signing this is a declaration of war.
We're already at war.
Yellowstone returns Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for an epic 2-hour premiere event exclusively on Paramount Network.
Injuries and illnesses that require immediate attention can happen anytime, any day of the week. That's why TJ Urgent Care is open daily, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their team of doctors and nurse practitioners are highly trained in caring for your family's urgent health care needs. With on-site lab, radiology, and pharmacy, TJ Urgent Care provides the ultimate convenience. No appointment is needed, and TJ Urgent Care is open 7 days a week. TJ Urgent Care, located at the TJ Health Pavilion in Glasgow. TJ Urgent Care, total local care.
Good morning, live WCLU. I want to make sure that you know about a couple of things that are coming up right here. This is the Holy Ghost and Fire Revival that's coming up Thursday and Friday and Saturday at 7 each night. This is going to be Sunday morning service at the 11 o'clock and Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Brother Randall Dwight Weaver II and Family Ministries will be in charge of revival. Now, you know what, James Coates over there? I don't know what church this is, so if you'll help me figure out what church this is. We don't want anybody to, it's at 1499 Burkesville Road. I just don't know the name of the church, so we'll make sure and get that, okay? All right, we got some tidbit news coming up shortly.
Good morning, friends. Of the early church it was said, "Behold how they love one another." Today, people might say, "Behold how they strive with one another." Why is it sometimes so difficult for God's people to get along? Perhaps the wars among us are caused by the wars within us. We often want to please ourselves even if it hurts someone else. Worldliness is an ongoing battle for today's church. As Christians, we must live in the world, but we must not let the world live within us. Do not be deceived. It is not possible to follow Christ without forsaking the ways of the world. Satan knows how to use lust and greed and pride to defeat us, just as he defeated Adam and Eve in the garden. Are we laughing when we should be weeping over our sins? Are we resisting the devil, or are we resisting the Lord? We make it difficult for unity and love when we engage in criticism. We attempt to hide our own sins by exposing the weaknesses of others. Gossip and slander grieve the Spirit and divide the family of God. He has called us to be servants, not judges. This is Danny Wyatt for the Refuge Church of Christ.
Let's get to know our Barron County attorney, Catherine Thomas.
I'm a small-town country girl with traditional core values. I was raised, I suspect, in much the same way as most of you. I'm a Christian, and I love Jesus, and I'm raising my daughter to do the same. I have no greater responsibility nor greater joy than being Avery's mom. I love my family and cherish the time spent with them. I teach children's worship each Sunday. I'm active in my child's school and have served on the Site-Based Decision-Making Council for her school each year. I live by the Golden Rule. I'm a strict parent. Just ask my daughter, and I have very high expectations of her, though those expectations are none higher than those I set for myself. These principles guide me each day as your Barron County attorney. I'm proud of the record that I've set over the last 4 years, and I humbly ask for your continued support and your vote as your Barron County attorney.
Paid for by Catherine Thomas, Barron County attorney.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
From around the world and up your street.
Good morning.
Okay, there you are, James.
Hey.
Okay, and so Brennan was over here telling me something about his. You told me what the name of that church is, Brennan.
Yeah, I did. It's looks like it's the
He's Alive
Community Church.
All right, see there. I don't want to mess that up. I'm going to write that on so I won't mess it up the next time, okay? All right.
There you go.
I got a few tidbits to share with you all today that I, from my weekend research. I want to rank them here so I'll get them in the right order so you all will enjoy this. This is for all the school kids who might be on their way to school. Let's just hope that this doesn't happen to you, okay?
Okay.
Students at Texas High School may have to retake the SATs after test papers flew out of the back of a UPS truck.
Oh, my.
What is this? The dog ate the homework?
Bad for you.
El Paso High School seniors were made aware of the situation earlier this week. All but 55 tests were recovered, the district told NBC affiliate KTSM. El Paso ISD is working closely with the College Board to determine a remedy for the El Paso High School students whose SAT exams were lost in transit. I'm wondering, why aren't they working closely with UPS?
I just don't think that's really fair to the kids.
Right. They were securely submitted to UPS. The tests effective were taken October 27th. The College Board, the organization that administers the SAT and the PSAT, say exams are occasionally lost in transit. When such instances occur, we work with the schools to ensure that students are able to retest as soon as possible. How is that? You stayed up all night worried that you were going to do bad on the PSAT or whatever, and you wondered, did mine fly out of the truck?
It just seems like they would file those electronically somehow.
You would think so, or just put I don't know what. All right, so let's change from SATs to this. This is over in India, and I've cleaned this story up not because it has anything bad in it other than the names of towns in India. Have you seen how many consonants they use on towns in India?
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's a problem. You notice it in the morning paper. Huh?
I research that all the time.
I mean, when you're from Edmonson County and all you're used to are three-letter words like pig.
Exactly
but
right.
His father-in-law used to run the paper in Edmonson County. So so we would think that you would know the...
It didn't rub off on me.
The Indian names of towns in India.
Don't make any assumptions.
Anyway, there's an Indian province, and it's got a bunch of consonants in it, and they have filed a case against 2 persons for violating traffic rules after a video of them taking a bath while riding a motorcycle went viral.
How do you do that?
Okay, here we go. This is 2 people taking a bath while riding a motorbike. The residents of Kerala, which is a state in India, their names are Amjal and Badusha, were seen covered in lather on their motorbikes. James is visualizing that as we speak.
I am, because you slide right off.
As a busy intersection when it was raining. Now, reportedly, they were returning after a sports match and decided to take a bath when it started raining. Okay. All I can envision is say,
"There's your water source."
Hey, honey, we don't have to wait till we get home to take a bath.
It's raining. We can do it right
Let's
here.
take it now on the motorcycle.
Bring the razor too. I'll shave.
Both were booked on charges of dangerous driving and slapped with a fine for the violation.
Listen, this is the same place that we had a few weeks ago. A monkey was driving a bus.
That's right. The monkey was driving the bus. So, which is worse, taking a bath on a motorcycle or letting the monkey drive?
I'm just glad I live in the USA.
Whew, that's a big time spot. And finally, this story. This is I guess an economy story here. This is Dateline, Aurora, Colorado. There's a long scratched up coffin is going to catch the eyes of customers who walk into Pasternak's pawn shop in Aurora, Colorado. That's right. The owner of the shop, Scott Pasternak, said this particular coffin was traded in for a cash loan within the past year. I'm pawning my casket.
How much equity is in a casket?
I don't know. The eerie-looking box is just one of the many personal belongings people are pawning at a record pace. Pasternak said the onslaught started when the economy began to take hits. Quote, "Our loans have gone through the roof with the economy being much lower and people needing more money." One man who didn't want to be identified,
imagine that,
figure that out, said he is pawning things a lot more often. As times have gotten tougher and inflation rates have caused me to come in once a month now selling things, the Aurora guy says. But on the other side, listen to this lady, Roxy Kessler. She's excited that things are going bad because she can now afford a used vacuum cleaner from the pawn shop. So you see, the economy it's
bad.
Two-way, either way. At least 30 million unbanked and underbanked American households use pawn shops each year. This is according to, and I didn't know there was one of these, according to the National Pawnbrokers Association. The Aurora Pawn Shop says that they are also seeing more white-collar customers in the pawn shop. So anyway. Wow.
I'm just wondering, when you look at liquidity of caskets, which one has more?
That's right. What can I look here? I got this casket for what? A lot less on the dollar.
Yeah.
So what was with the scratch?
I guess I don't know.
From moving it around from pawn shop to pawn shop?
I don't know. It's like maybe it was in the garage, never used, but like a shelf fell on it or something. I don't know.
Somebody called in a casket on the Trader one day.
They did. I was going to mention
They did.
that.
Yeah. Well,
you told me about that.
So
sure did.
Did they? What condition was it listed in?
Henry's like,
it was
still
soft.
available?
I didn't ask.
Is it tarnished?
I asked him if it was used because I was so used to they call in a car, used car. I said, is it used? They said, no, it's not used.
How many miles does that casket have on?
He did say I slept in it one night to see how it would feel.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he actually laid in it to see what it would.
Right. I don't know. I wouldn't fall asleep though. All right.
You might not get back up.
That's what we have. Just three little tidbits here of an odd nature to get the week started off right. Okay.
All right.
And let's see. We got. Let's see. What do we have? We have the Real Trader.
Yep.
At 8:00 on Willie 94.1 and 102.3. James is pumped up.
Ready.
He was actually here early, getting organized for that.
Yes, sir.
Brennan was here early, making sure the news is in good order.
Coffee maker, Brennan Crane.
Don't you fib to people. We have people calling up here saying they tell me all the time. They're like, I see you pulling in.
That's right.
12 after.
That's right. CBS News. Look at that screen. There's a turn signal in front of the radio station.
Yeah. Look. I mean, but I'm always here for the news, at least most times.
Yeah, that's right. Deborah Rodriguez is actually here first.
That's right.
Thank God for Deborah.
Tidbit News. That's today.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
Yellowstone, television's #1 show, returns on Paramount Network.
I, John Dutton, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the state of Montana against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Featuring an all-star cast led by Academy Award winner Kevin Costner.
The invasion is over.
They will fight you dirty.
Is there any other way?
As the Dutton family fights to protect their legacy, they'll learn power has a price.
Signing this is a declaration of war.
We're already at war.
Yellowstone returns Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for an epic 2-hour premiere event exclusively on Paramount Network.
Do you have a working smoke detector in your home? South Central Bank and the American Red Cross are teaming up to make sure you do. Stop in and register today at South Central Bank locations on South Broadway, Happy Valley Road, or Beaver Trail in Glasgow. You can call 270-715-1129 or email sckyhomefire@redcross.org. Here's the best part. On November the 11th and 12th, volunteers will come to your home and install the smoke detector, including a 10-year battery, and it's all free. Get your free smoke detector with the help of South Central Bank. Sign up today.
Getting a degree is all about timing and what's important to you. For me, life was already happening. I was married with 2 kids, but I knew in order to set myself apart, I needed to further my education.
Indiana Tech has quality, affordable degree programs to advance your career and the personalized support that helps you succeed. We have in-demand programs in areas like business, healthcare, information technology, cybersecurity, engineering, criminal justice, and many more.
Getting a degree in healthcare administration helped me stand out when it came time to advance my career. The flexibility of online classes worked great for me, and the instructors were really supportive. I was even honored as an outstanding graduate in healthcare administration. Had I done this right out of high school, I wouldn't have been as successful.
Take the next step towards your bright future. Learn more today how Indiana Tech helps busy working adults advance their careers at online.indianatech.edu.
Registration for the next class session ends November 11th.
If you haven't been to Hurt Auto Sales at 621 West Main Street in Glasgow in a while, you've missed it. But to get us caught up, here he is, Bobby Lee Hurt.
Hey, Henry, we just got in a 2014 GMC Crew Cab two-wheel drive truck for only $21,900. 13 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum Edition all-wheel drive local vehicle, only $15,900. 2014 Jeep Cherokee, a midsize SUV, nice looking ride, $14,900. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, we have an 06 Buick Lucerne CXL, excellent condition, just $6,900.
Don't you get a good feeling when people come up here looking and they have found exactly what they want?
We have a lot of that and proud to do so.
So it's 621 West Main Street. Those are just 4, but the highlights are much more. If you come check it out today at Hurt Auto Sales, 621 West Main Street. Bobby Lee is here. The hot light is on and it reads,
no pain when you trade with Hurt.
All right, coming up, the live and local 8 o'clock morning edition here on WCLU. We're going to keep you informed on all the things you need to know as we get into a busy week here in South Central Kentucky. Again, I want to remind you, I just like this, the concept of this. Don't eat bologna for Thanksgiving. Inflation impacts all of us. But Jordan Crane from the Barron County Extension Service will show you how to make delicious holiday meals on a budget at the Mary Woodwelton Library. It's going to be Tuesday, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Don't miss the great tips and the great recipes.